Hey, come on. As they say, better late than never. Yes. Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Friday. Well done. You did it. You got there. Friday, it's been hot. They promised us it was going to be a bit cooler. They promised us that this bloody heat would stop fucking doing what it's doing, but it's still doing it. Anyway, I hope everyone's fantastically well. I can see there's a few comments in already. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I apologize for being late. I was just finishing up on Potts' channel, just hosting the Rival Talk. Some interesting questions on there. Some interesting points. How is everyone? Yeah, because today the thumbnail says it, wrong signing, and I can see straight away a few of you in the chat are already saying, damn, what the fuck are you talking about? Come on now, he's a good young player. But this is dropping more and more. So we got this, that there's a realistic chance that Lewis Page gets done between United and Leicester. United are considered to be ahead of Arsenal in the race. And when I put the thumbnail, I think people have got it twisted. What I'm asking you all is this, okay? Manchester United, for love nor money, don't seem to be making that third signing. And my question is, if this is the third signing, if this is one of the signings that Carrick has been promised, then is this enough to take us forward? Because I think we've got to have a serious chat about this, people. I think we've got to really look at this for what it is. We've gone from the start of the transfer window, having Ederson, looking at a Baleba potentially, looking at a Tonali, looking at Tchouameni, looking at Anderson, to what I worry could be a very underwhelming midfield window. Now, I am not discounting Tielemans or Santos. But what I am saying is, whereas there are a lot of reports that this kid could come in and be the development side like an Aidan Heaven or like a Tynan Thompson, I don't think it's right. Because when you are backs against the wall, when the season gets thick, I don't think it's right to be relying on a kid who has played 20 games for Leicester in the Championship, dropped down to League One of them. I don't think it's right. I implore us to look at signings like this if we've got our other signings correct. I implore the club to be making signings like this as long as we see it for what it is, and that is that these kids are going to come in, maybe get a bit of first-team football, and then push on, and then start taking it. But I don't think we can be looking at this signing and going, well, if that's the third signing, we're happy, we move on. I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times before. But I'm concerned. I am concerned. Let me go through some of the comments and make sure you smash and like, you beautiful buggers. Robbo says, I'm not interested anymore, to be honest. It's getting boring now. I think it's time we just accept fuck all is happening. And unfortunately, that is where Carrick will fail. They haven't backed him. Wise man, Carlos, he says, I don't get why some of this negativity from people. There's still over 2 weeks left of this transfer window. And from reports, we clearly have multiple plans for positions we need to fill. Calm down. Also, bring in these young players we have potentially who have very high ceilings potentially. Will stop this happening in the future where we have to go to an overinflated market. Charlie Baby, good to see you, mate. Legend, he says, I like this signing myself. He goes into the same category of Heaven and Thompson. I also read from an outlet that Amas could be the left back this season. He has impressed. We'll talk about Amas. Not the wrong signing. Need to consistently invest in youth. Just needs to add 2 other signings along with Page. That's all. Whilst we're going through the comments, let me put this vote in there because I think great point there. And this is something I want to make sure that we're asking. And I want to see where you were all lying with this one. So if Page ends up as our third signing, ends up as the third CM, are we happy? I'm putting that in capitals. Are we happy? If he ends up as the third CM, are we happy? Because we have to look at it that way. Whilst you're voting, let me run through these comments. Danny Boy, good to see you, mate. I hope we batter him as well tomorrow. I really hope we batter him. He's going to be one for the future. I think you're right. If he's the only signing at the end of the window, then obviously we need more. But let's start bashing the owners. Fuck, hate the Yanks. And Jim, just money mad. Oh! Don't say United stand in there, mate. We could get it wrong. And I'm good, mate. I'm good. When Amorim took over, people said it would take a few years to get back where we were. Carrick improved average players, and now United fans want immediate success and best players. I disagree with that, chappy. I agree patience is a virtue, but I disagree about that bit before, and I'll come back to that. Subra, Legend, good to see you. And he is a baller. I'm not saying he's not at all. He's got talent, but I don't think we're looking at this in the right way. I really don't. What else have we got here quickly before I get past? I'm really sorry I'm late, guys. I am sorry. I do apologise. Carpe, you need to invest in youth. Page is a good sign himself. We need more as well. That's the key thing here. And we are top of the league for looking, says Dazza. Did anybody else get those bloody messages come through? And big shout out to Rich, who I've just been on a stream with. Absolute superstar. Absolute legend. Love the guy to pieces. The final boss says Tielemans tier 1, Santas tier 2, Page tier 3, a bit like heaven. Final boss, I can't disagree with that. Can't disagree. And the big dog says fans will go mad if we don't get any more decent signings. We'll blame the board. But when Amorim didn't get back last season, the media and idiot fans blamed Amorim, not Ineos. The big dog, I want to ask you a question before we go on back to the votes. And it's a straightforward one because I know that you kind of back Goldbridge quite a lot. Goldbridge comes out the other night and says, Kone, there's significant progress made and we've heard nothing. How do you feel about that? Because I don't think that was a good thing to do. I really do. I really don't think it was a good thing to do. What else we got? If all this AI myth is true and our data team's amazing, blah, snap up all the best young talent, make Academy the best in the world and dominate for a generation. Take over the channel. Come on now, give me a chance. Maxi Baby, Lejon, good to see you. And Ferdinand, I thought we signed a second choice keeper. We did. We absolutely did. Let me go with the votes a second because it's closer than I anticipated and I'm quite surprised at this. So I've asked, if Page ends up being the third central midfielder, are we happy? 47% of you have said yes. That really surprises me. That really surprises me. Let me do a bit. I've got this on the player because I thought it was best we essentially look at some information on him. And this is what we've got. So everything you need to know about Louis Page. 18, he can play at an 8 or a 10. He's 6 foot. He was the EFL Apprentice of the Year 25-26, and he's also Leicester's Academy player. Now, this is apparently one of the brightest prospects to come from their academy. This is what Leicester are saying. He's been around the first team since last season. I think the way he handled the disruption, despair, and anger is a testament to his maturity levels and what sort of player he'll become when he gets older. Technically speaking, he is very gifted and operates best as a number 8 or in the number 10 role. He needs to be more physical and perhaps bulk up a little bit, but apparently they do want more than Monga went to Man City for. Now, United have been here before, and Leicester fans, I want to kind of ask this question. I do want to know this. United have been here before, and by the way, it's 50-50 on that. I'm stunned at that. When we have a younger player who comes in when things are looking awful, when everything goes to shit, my camera's all over the place there, they come in and what they do is they brighten the place up and they give you that bit of excitement and you go, oh, finally, look, there's a kid who comes in and he's giving it his all. Is this a run the risk situation of that? Because I've never heard us looking at this Louis Page, and for us to have just sort of all of a sudden now, the last sort of 3 or 4 days say, we want him, we like him. I'm a bit worried about it. I am a bit worried about it. Again, I don't mind being called greedy. Look at the size of me. I'm always greedy. But I don't agree with the fact that this kid coming in as our third midfielder will make us a better team. Now, if we were to bring him in and another midfielder, well, I'd say, do you know what? That's absolutely fine because you'd have your 4 central midfielders in Mainu, in Tielemans, in Santos, and the other one coming in to rotate. And then you've got this kid to come on and get experience through cups, getting minutes at the end of games. That's fine. Tynan Thompson, let's be honest, paid $8 million for him. He ain't going to be starting any games for Manchester United. He might come on in the Carabao Cup. He might come on when we're playing in the Champions League and hopefully we've done our business and we're just sort of resting for the next stage. He might do that. But Louis Page, we'll call him. I don't think he's ready to make that step up for Manchester United to do that. Tash is in. Don't block her. Keep her here. We'll keep her here because I do need cheering up today. Everyone is guessing at the moment. YouTubers are putting stuff out just for money. I can assure you I'm not. I don't have any. Nothing has changed for 4 weeks. Still rocking the iPhone 11, so I didn't get the alert. I nearly shit myself. I thought it was Armageddon. Honestly, it went... And I was like, I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep. I'm joking. I didn't do that. It happened when we were on stream. Marky Baby says, good evening, Dan. We was told it was best in class like Tonali, Anderson, and we've got a third-rate midfielders that Sir Alex Ferguson wouldn't have. Quick, do you know something? You've jumbled me on something with that. When we look at the window as a whole, that dog, I tell honestly, the dog from next door. When we look at the window as a whole, Manchester United signings, we have been outspent by Ipswich Town. Manchester United, on the face of it, and again, please don't kick off. I'm just telling you what I think. Manchester United at the moment are acting like our team is pretty much set in stone and we've just needed to make a couple of additions. That isn't the case. The timer is on 3 days, 19 hours and 40 minutes. That is when I start to get very, very worried. That is when I start to go, hang on a minute. And I'm going to say this right now. If we sign Page before that timer runs out, I will still be worried. Let's not gloss over the fact that Manchester United, for all the good they've done, can still shoot themselves square in the foot. Carrick, I've got no concerns with. And I don't think Carrick is a yes man for 1 minute. That yesterday proved that. But at the same time, Manchester United need to make sure that they've got everything in check when it comes to attacking this season. Now, we do have the luxury, and I'm going to call it a slight luxury, in the fact that we're not playing an Arsenal first game. We're not playing a Man City second game. We're not playing a Liverpool first game. We get to finish this entire transfer window having played 2 games in the Premier League against two teams that have been promoted. So for us, essentially, we do have that bit longer. But I don't want it to be that way. We kick off our Premier League season a week tomorrow. A week tomorrow. At the moment, I'm resigned to the fact that it will be Luke Shaw at left back and it will be Santos and Tielemans in the midfield, maybe Mainu, depending on how he gets on tomorrow. More needs to be done. And at the moment, 52% of you are saying you'd be happy with Page as the first central midfielder. Keep that coming. You've got another couple of minutes and then I'm going to close the poll. And make sure you do me a favour as well. Smash the like button. How many likes are we actually on at the moment? I get it. I let you all down. I was very late. I apologise. We're only on 8 at the moment. There's over 30 of you. It takes 2 minutes to hit the like button and it helps the channel grow. So do me a favour and sort that out for me, you beautiful buggers. Shano says we will make a move for Hall this window because if we sign the youngest talent, surely signing a top priority in Hall is the only way we salvage some pride in this window. There have been reports that Hall is potentially looking at putting a transfer request in. They're not from credible sources, which is why I don't want to dilly-dally on that too much tonight. But I agree with what Shane says. I do think that this club will do something going into this week. They have to. The fact that the manager's coming out and saying he needs more says it all for me. Anthony, you absolute fucking legend, says, said it before, we'll say it again, ignore everything you hear in the media. The club is not advertising anything they are doing. The media is clueless. And Steve says the same Goldberg that thinks Tielemans is not in Anderson's league. I mean, he's too busy at the moment with Wazza, isn't he? MUFC says we have a legacy brand status. So with the Sassoni data revolution, we can genuinely build the world's best academy. And I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with that dog barking. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is this. You can build the greatest academy in the world, okay? But here's the thing with that. You can get that done during a season. What you can't do is leave the first team and neglect it and carry on getting these kids in and saying, well, don't worry, because in a couple of years, boom, we're going to go off. They're going to be incredible. It doesn't work like that. Chelsea, first example on that. They have been buying kid after kid after kid and ended up having one of their worst seasons ever last season. Dazza, you absolute legend. Hamcham says, last season, whenever Casemiro is subbed, we can feel the difference and the weakness in midfield. Now Santos with more subs, with more games, subs and injuries, we don't have a pure CDM to replace Santos. And that, by the way, is the nail fucking smack bang on the head there. How many times as a collective last season, I could hear it through the bloody microphone. When Casemiro would come off and it would be Agate, come on, you could hear yourselves going, oh, God. We've got depth in certain positions. I think forward-wise now, we're pretty much set. We might bring an experienced striker in, and that's fine. In the midfield, we don't have that. At left-back, we don't have that. We have players that can play at left-back, can do a job, but we don't have that in left-back. And we need to make sure that next season we are not doing this. We are not sat there being terrified of when a player comes off. People saying third-rate midfielders, especially for Tielemans, I cannot agree. Sorry, Santos. Yeah, Santos is quality. I'm not gonna even berate Santos. You know I wanted Santos from the start, so I'm happy with that. Dan, I've told you we won't sign another player of first-team standards, but deadline day, Glinios will say the club is up for sale just so they don't have to spend. And Carrick is a dead man walking. And they probably no, I don't. Mate cannot be the fourth. We spoke about that final boss. If that happens, then we're finished. We're fucking finished. I would take our signings the last 2 windows over Liverpool. They spent nearly $1 billion, and we don't know what United's expectations are for the forthcoming season. Maybe it's lower than ours. It can't be though, Chappie. It can't be, because it just can't. If their expectations are lower after coming out and saying 2028 is when we're going to do the unthinkable, then they're going to look like first-class dickheads. It would basically be like I am when Mrs. Robinson says, are you going to mow the lawn? Yeah, I'm going to do it next week. Next week, that lawn is going to look absolutely pristine. It's going to be beautiful. I've been saying that for the last 8 weeks, and we've had the hottest summer ever. I still haven't done that lawn. Manchester United cannot keep saying, but in next year. They have to do it now. Ineos has done a great job lowering most fans' standards. Most fans are happy for top 5 every season. We are Man United, for fuck's sake, guys. We need to act like it as fans, because the owners don't. Love that. Love that. Hall is staying. Tash has said it first. There we go. Tash has obviously got inside information. Oh, Tash, you make me laugh. And this is what else I wanted to speak about as well. This is what Steve Ralston said. United could offer Page a clear pathway into the first team, using Heaven as an example. After the defender established himself in the senior squad, the Reds are hoping the development route can help convince the player to choose Manchester United. I mean, look, you're going to learn a lot about the stones of this kid, aren't you? Because if he comes in, right, and he's signed and he goes, lads, calm down, I'm here to compete, then you're going to go, he's got a big set of balls on him. But it could flip the other way. This kid could come in and get thrown in the deep end, and we could absolutely destroy him. I think for me, Manchester United have to make sure that they're signing someone else other than this kid. Give the lad a chance to grow as a player, because if we don't, then I fear for him. I really do. Ineos have done a lot like the training ground, the board, the signings. I mean, come on, Lammy was an absolute gem. They've done some good things, they have. Tonali, Anderson and Fernandez are nothing special. The latter two are on godforsaken wages. Apart from left-back, the squad has depth in every area of the pitch. I think we need another midfielder, Steve-O, but I agree with the left-back. And I think, I agree with Steve Howson. I think we might sign Sander Berg. Be a good signing for me. I've been saying Sander Berg is coming, by the way. I have been saying that Sander Berger deadline day will be coming. We are trusting the process. Carlos, we are, but when that timer goes, that's when I'm going to start to ask questions. How many subs are we on at the moment, by the way? Does anyone know? Because I think we lost a couple overnight. Must have said something that really pissed a couple of them off. Apologies if I did. Let me just have a quick look. We are currently on... Okay, so we are 71 away from 2,000. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. The goal is to hit 2,000 before the season starts. Can we do that in a week? We can, but only because of you beautiful buggers hitting that subscribe button. We are live most nights, every night. Shut up, Dan. Most nights at 8 o'clock. Come and join the Bryan Brigade. It is something you will not regret. We are an absolute superstar group of people here. Over the last decade, failed transfers, failed debt, failed dressing room, failed training ground, failed women's team, and failed academy. United fans need to accept reality, sadly. We have, though, and look, I don't think there's any United fan out there, bar some bozos, who are saying, but we should have gone for fucking Anderson. Why aren't we going for Anderson? Why aren't we doing it? United are at that table still at the moment. Champions League qualification only gets you so far. But there are players out there that will make us better. There are players out there that will build this squad depth. There are players out there that will take us to the next level. Manchester United are not at that next level yet. We got third place. That was fantastic. This season, the minimum expectation from myself, and this might be wrong to say, is Michael Carrick has to win a cup and he has to get us Champions League football again. With regards to the Champions League, we are not winning that. I'm here to enjoy the ride with that competition. I'll enjoy it and I'll watch it and I'll love it. I can't wait to hear the Champions League music sound again for us. But top 4 and a cup has to be what we need to do. And they have to give him the players to be able to do that. They just do. If we can use Page in the first team like we did with Heaven, then why can't we do it with JJ Gabriel? It's a good shape. It's a good shape. We need to turn the page on this discussion and you know, mate, look at you, Carlos. You creative son of a gun. Big up, A1 Sav. Hope you're well, dude. You're absolute legend. Hi, Dan. Told you no top-tier signings, but Liverpool have new investors. There we go. That's what Tash is going to be dining on for the next 6 years. We're getting Mbappe. That'll be what will be happening next. And yes, get the likes up, you beautiful buggers. Has anything dropped in the last hour or so? Because I have been live, and I like to normally check for us and see what's about. Let me just have a quick look. Nah, there's nothing there. There's nothing there for us. There's nothing, is there? Cody Gakpo's going to Spurs. Liverpool needs to be so careful with their squad, man. Oh, hang on a minute. There's so many fake accounts that are tweeting out about Lewis Hall, and it's really starting to piss me off. Like, this is the problem, isn't it? So many of these people on Twitter want to get it right once, and they keep tweeting it and hope that it happens. And then when it happens, they can go, everybody follow me. I know what I'm talking about. It's absolute nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense. Anyway, next up, I wanted to talk about, surprised you haven't spent now in the Champions League. Me too. Honestly, Rich, we're starving here, mate. We're starving. We are absolutely starving. My prediction, Carrick sacked by Christmas. Eddie Howe on the Nagelsmann next manager. We don't want the Nagelsmann. He shit the bed with Germany. Don't want him anywhere near this club. But I tell you what I'm going to do, because do you know what? 50-50, by the way, we're finishing that vote on with Page being the third central midfielder. Or did it just jump up? I'm going to ask this because this is starting to concern me, because I am seeing a few more of you saying Carrick out by Christmas. Does Carrick last the season with this current squad? Does Carrick last the season with this current squad? Now, I'm going to tell you all this right now. I want you to look at me when I tell you this, okay? I want you to look at me. I'm looking at all of you. I'm looking at all. Hamcham, I'm looking at you. Charlie Baby, I'm looking at you. Anthony, I'm looking at you. Rich, I'm looking at you. Carlos, I'm looking at you. Danny Boy, I'm looking at you. Itlas Carpet, everyone who's watching this, I am looking at you. Big Dog, I'm looking at you. Manchester United will not sack Carrick unless something absolutely ridiculous happens. It would have to be catastrophic. He would have to be in 11th place, 10th place at Christmas. For them to sack him, that's what they'd have to do. Manchester United, the board, completely understand, I think, here, that if they do not back him in this window, if they do not bring the players in to help him, by the way, we need 2 more at least, and I'd say 3 if we're getting Page, then they know that the fans will hit the fucking roof, because Carrick is a club legend. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer towards the end, it went toxic. We know that. I think Manchester United fans, I think we got a bit giddy because Ralph Rangnick come in and we thought, well, okay, Ole's done his bit. But when you hear who Ole wanted, when you hear what Ole wanted to do with the club, it made me angry and it made a lot of people angry. They will not make the same mistake with Michael Carrick. It will not happen. I think he has got the potential to do something special at United. I'm not saying win the league. I'll never say win the league. But I think he's got the potential to do something. Just back him. We have to back him. At the moment, 71% of you are saying that Carrick lasts the season with this current squad. Danny Boy, I've got to be honest with you. I don't even want to be having this conversation. The only reason I'm doing it is because a lot of people I'm seeing are saying, oh, well, you know what, he might be gone at Christmas. It's absolute bullshit. Manchester United have learned from some mistakes, and one of the mistakes they've learned from is you don't go against a club legend like that. You don't. He would have to absolutely fuck it completely. Mark says Danny's already dug his own grave by asking for players. And what did Ruben do? End of story. The difference between that, though, Mark, and I will say this straight away, is Michael Carrick has shown he's adaptable. Michael Carrick has shown he can change things up. What did Ruben do? Ruben played a formation that bored the life out of us, that sucked the soul out of the club, that completely destroyed the confidence of a lot of good players at the club. And when he changed it at one time, he did it, got a result, and I went, no, I'm going back to there. Ruben Amorim lost to a 10-man fucking Everton at home. 10 men for nearly a whole game. Not good enough. Amorim will absolutely come unstuck at AC Milan. I wish nothing but the worst to that guy. I wish nothing but the worst. He was here for the payday, nothing more. What else have we got? Carrick bloody won the Prem, and they think he can't tactically help a team. Agree with that. Nope, it's crazy to be even discussing it. I agree. Absolutely agree. And Tash, he's not a yes man. Tash, I'm this close to pushing the button. I'm this close. This close. I'm going to make a prediction. The people saying he's gone by Christmas are going to have egg on their face. And when we get the signings, we need these next couple of weeks. Mic drop. Let's see it. Let's see it. Carrick lost to Newcastle with 10 men. He did, but we were missing some players in that game, if I remember correctly. And also, that game, look at when Carrick managed this team last season. You can count on one hand how many bad games. Managers do have bad games, big dog. They do. But the subtle difference was that was away at St. James's Park. We were at home against Everton. Different. So much different. Dan Amorim got rid of the star boy, and he should not have been brought anywhere near the club. I agree. It's a results game. If winning games and scoring goals, the fan base will love him. And Scotty says, Carrick knows the dressing room. He's a very chilled manager and a very positive man. And of course, Carrick will last the season, says Stephen. All our rivals have new managers, and they've got question marks. Do you know something? This is the funny thing, okay? This is the funny thing. We kind of know what Michael Carrick is, and that's such a good comment by Stephen. We know what Michael Carrick is. There are 10 clubs, I think, this season that have new managers. New managers who are coming in and trying to put their playing style into the clubs, that are trying to push themselves into the narrative of what they want from their players. Michael Carrick's pretty much had the best time of coming in, assessing where these players are, knowing where he needs to go, knowing the players he can rely on, and knowing the players that he can't trust. Will players still leave this club? Of course they will. We are still trying to sell players. It breaks my heart, but I think Hamas, if we sign a left back, I think Hamas is gone. Do I like it? Absolutely not. Do I understand it? Definitely not. But am I going to have to get on with it? You fucking bet your ass I am. What I don't want is people to be chucking it in against Carrick from the start. We've got to give the lad so much more time. We've got to allow him to build. Do I think that he is going to win the Premier League? No, I don't. But sometimes you bring managers in, they do a job for you, they build something, and then it gets passed on to someone else. Now, if Carrick comes in and records another third-place finish and wins a trophy, then the season after records a second-place finish and wins a trophy, well, then, do you know something? That guy has earned the right to build us and push us. And you would have to say that he's building and pushing us in the right direction. But I go back to the Louis Page situation. Bringing Louis Page in as the third central midfielder will be something that will seriously hinder the manager. Because for me already, I'm telling you, I've written Mason Mount off. And that is a really horrible, dark thing to say. Because we've not even started the season yet. But I've already written Mason Mount off. Mason Mount will play no more than 20 games this season. And that is with us having a lot more football because injuries seem to get the better of him. We don't even know how long he's going to be out for now. He started the game against PSG, come off with what we thought was a little knock. He's out. He was out against Leeds. He's out tomorrow. Let's make sure we're giving the manager something he can do here. Let's make sure that there's no problem with building for the future. There is absolutely not. But do it the right way. Bring in the players for the now as well. Because the here and now are what is going to get us trophies. The here and now is what is going to take us closer to what we want to achieve as a collective. Oh, sorry about that. I went on a bloody tangent there. Iriola has already moaned about Liverpool. I know I saw that, to be fair. Amorim was missing Bruno, Ahmad, hang on, what was that? Missing Bruno, Ahmad, Bryan, and Maz in December. People forget that Amarin lost 4 of his best players and still kept us 5th before he left. I think he was 6th or 7th, wasn't he? Also did it without signing he wanted. Yes, but to caveat that, he wanted Martinez. He wanted Ollie Watkins. He wanted to get rid of Mainu. Mainu was a big part of what we did last season, big dog. I get it that people can sometimes overglaze what he is to the club, and I think sometimes people took it a little too far last season. I think emotion was there where we were saying, "Oh my God, Mainu, he had a good season last season considering he hadn't played for so long." But that bozo wanted to get rid of him. Never forget that. The thing that has really pissed me off this season, with 300 million spent our season, this was our season to push on. Who knows what happens, but we've gone backwards. Well, look, talking about that quickly, I do want to touch on this because at the start of the transfer window, we were told we've got 150 million to spend. That was what a lot of reporters were coming out and saying, journalists, and I get it. I know that they're wrong a lot of the times, but the general consensus was there was about 150 million. That was before player sales. If we signed this boy, we'd have spent 103 million. 35 for Tielemans, 50 for Santos, that's 85, 8 for Tinnen Thompson, and then 10 for Page if that happens. 103 million pounds. 2 of those players are for the future. So essentially, take them away from it. You have spent 85 million. Take away the players that we've sold, it's not enough. That timer will keep ticking down. When that timer finishes, that's when I'm starting to worry. Carrick has more weapons in attack than most of our rivals. We were starving when we had Anthony, Rashford, Højlund and Garnacho. Look what we've got now. I agree with that, Steve. I think United have got one of the best attacks in the league going into this season. What's the vote going on? 69% of you saying that Carrick lasts. I'm surprised 31% are saying that he doesn't. That really surprises me. By the way, we are only on 17 likes and there's over 40 of you in here. Please do me a favor. It takes 2 seconds. Hit the like button. It's helping the channel grow. I need each and every one of you. If you don't hit the like button, then we are going to start seeing more of this guy. Said I loved you, but I lied. And you don't want Michael Bolton on a Friday night. It doesn't help you for the weekend. It really doesn't. If we spunked the budget splashing 200 million on Anderson and Fernandes, Shaw gets injured. Anderson has a bad season and everyone is calling for the board for wasting money. I take that. I do take that. That's fine. I agree with that, Anthony. I really do. But we are on the 14th of August and we still haven't done anything. We've brought in two players, really, haven't we? I think we were all expecting more, is what I'm saying. We have such a toxic wage bill from Ed Woodward and Richard Arnold days, and it's making it impossible to sell players. Disagree with that. The only players that are really on the big bucks now is Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford, if I'm led to believe so. A lot of them aren't on as much as you think. Thank you, MUFC debate. Legend. Thank you for that, mate. And as Danny Boy says, make sure you smash. No, not Michael Bolton. There's nothing wrong with Michael Bolton. No, Dan, it was 150 million just for midfield. We needed to spend. There we go. I'll take that, big dog, all day long. Dan, we got 40 million. We got 40 quid for Højlund. 40 quid? You ain't that shit. 40 million for Højlund. 10 million back from Greenwood. And 14. No, we got 7 for the tech, I think. And Tom Clash comes in as the voice of reason and says, whoa, 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 whoa. In fact, Tom Nash, I'll do it for you. Tom Nash is like, everyone. Calm the fuck down. I think it is sending us into. Do you know what, Tash? I tried. Tash, I tried. I tried to give you a chance. I tried. You all know I tried. I give her opportunity. Tash, naughty step. I think what we are seeing here, chat, and I will say this, is that I think United fans, quite rightly so, are stressing. I think we are stressing, and I think we have every reason to stress. I think if we go into the season as we are now, I think it could be a tumultuous, bad season for Manchester United. I think it is a case of them we are battling to get into that last Champions League spot. There is nothing wrong with Manchester United going out there and strengthening and giving us the belief that we can go into there and comfortably get the Champions League. I want Manchester United to be, I was going to say deep. and that sounded wrong. Do you know what? I'll say it. It's nearly 9 o'clock. I want Manchester United balls deep in every competition this season. Champions League's a gimme, but I want us to be so far into the League Cup. I want us to be so far into the FA Cup. The FA Cup's my favourite competition. I don't want a season like last season where every game you're looking over your shoulder going, but it could all go wrong, and they're coming back up. There are clubs that are in a far worse position than they were last season. Newcastle being one of them. I think Villa at the moment being one of them. Chelsea have got 1 game a week. Spurs have got 1 game a week. So they're going to have a bit more about them. Liverpool, undecided with what the fuck they're doing at the moment. This is Manchester United's serious opportunity here to bridge that gap. Get the players. Get the players. Lacazette, definitely not Hamchan. We don't want that one. Definitely don't want that one. Michael, the timer, when this gets to 0, Michael, that is when I will start panicking about the lack of transfers with Manchester United. It's been on for nearly 10 days. It's crazy. We are going to start panicking very, very soon. Here is a question. Is our midfield right at this moment stronger than it was last season? Oh, Carlos. That deserves a poll, you beautiful little bugger. Let's ask the question. Oh, can I copy that? Because I really can't be bothered to type it out. Oh, I'm going to have to fucking type it out. Ugh. Question. Is the midfield currently stronger than last season's? Yes or no? Is the midfield currently stronger than last season's? Get your comments in as well as to why you think it is. Get your comments. We'll have a chat. We always do. Sometimes more games builds consistency if all stay fit, though. MUFC debate, I actually agree with that. I think United lost it a couple of times last season because we'd have such a break. The break before the Leeds game was out of this world ridiculous, and I think it affected us. Bruno going to get some goals this season with Tielemans feeding him the ball. I think we'll see Bruno. Take on a lot more responsibility with taking shots this season. Last season, he was so focused on the assists. Tielemans will absolutely help take that load off him. The big dog says, with just the 100 million we get for Champions League money, we could get 5 players with that, with how we pay transfers off over 4 to 5 years contracts. I think clubs are actually wising up to that a little bit, though, big dog. I think clubs are rejecting us in that approach a bit more now. It's a great point, but I think clubs are genuinely saying, no. We want more up front. It's like going to KFC in it and saying, I'll have a boneless banquet, please. Can I pay you £3.50 now? And then over the course of a month, I'll come in and drop off £1 a time. Doesn't work like that, does it? And I think clubs are getting a bit more up about that. Ilus Carpi says crazy stronger. And Anthony says, don't forget how much the keeper situation fucked us at the start of the season. And then Carrick got the reins. We had the best finish of anyone. I agree. I do agree. Yes, it is. If you can bench Manu and it doesn't weaken the team. Steve. That's a comment and a half, by the way. I'm starring that. That is a comment and a half, Steve-O. What is your picture, by the way? All I can see is Love Wedding. I'm intrigued. Last season, we only had Cassie, Uncle Cassie. Fucking never forget that man. Honestly, I love him. And there is a bit more depth, but still needs another big sign-in. Absolutely. A young Casemiro over Santos, Tielemans and Manu. Imagine a young Casemiro. Ramo says, mate, you make him an in thing at work with that. Great name. I'd say yes, but Casemiro, even though he was on his last legs, won us a lot of games and he was a big character. The other thing that Casemiro did last season was got us a lot of goals. Was it 9 goals I think he got? Did he get 9 in the Premier League? Am I tripping here? Did Casemiro get 9 goals in the league? I mean, it's got to be. We weren't in any other fucking competitions. Yeah, 9 goals he got in the Premier League last season. Not bad for a player who's meant to be a CDM, and we will miss that this season. But then ultimately, I think we've seen in pre-season that we have changed our style a bit. I think we have changed it to become more progressive with the ball. Santos is so much more adept at picking the ball up and thinking forwards instead of going side to side. We don't want any of this fucking, what's his name? DJ, what's his name? Slide to the left, slide to the right. We don't want any of that Chris Cross. Dominic, good to see you, mate. He says, we might not be lighter in midfield, but we are going to miss Casemiro's head. There we go. That's what I said. There we go. Game recognises game, my guy. How are we doing on these likes, by the way? Because there is around 50 of you in here. 20. We've hit the 20. That's better. If we can hit 30, it'd be absolutely beautiful. Apparently, we paid. We had to because it was a release clause. 35 million is nothing, though, is it? And United aren't playing all of Mainu, Santos, and Tills. Bruno is in the 10, so it's going to be 2 of the 3. So someone is going to be sitting on the bench. I agree, Steve, but there's going to be a lot of football. There's going to be a lot of football to be played, so I think there'll be a lot of rotation. Let's face it, we didn't know what to expect from forwards. 30-plus goals. I actually think I'm setting them a target this season with Sesko, with Rashford, with Bruno, with Cunha, and with, who am I missing? Bryan, Sesko, Rashford, Cunha, Bruno. With those 5 players, I want to see from them a minimum of 60 goals between them this season. I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. 60 goals I want from them. There is no reason why the 5 of them can't produce 100 G&A. I don't care. I don't care. I'm saying that. Dan, what do you think about the 1958? I think they're a joke. Their protests are a waste of time, and I think they work with Glinios and protest when they allow them to. That's a deep question. The 1958, I think if... I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm going to agree with Goldbridge on this. But Goldbridge always used to say, and I don't know if he says it now, but if all the fan channels, mine's not nowhere near where they are, so I'm not saying like that. But if all the big fan channels were to stick together and were to, push the narrative, push the message, and everyone banded together, how different would it look for the Glazers and for Ineos? I agree with him on that. This was BC before COVID when I used to adore him. We scored a lot of goals from corners due to Cassie, so when we need a last-minute goal, Cassie was always there. Let's not forget, De Ligt did a couple of them as well last season. De Ligt did a few of them last season. Amadou and Dorgu as well. I'm not putting the pressure on them. And Lacey, I'm not going to put the pressure on them either. Wrap up Haven, good to see you, absolute legend. We can never replace Casemiro, but you can get around it by changing the system. Facts. I tell you what, I've got to be honest with you. Tomorrow, we will be live streaming the game tomorrow. Of course we will. It's the big one. I would love nothing more than Rashford to score a screamer, run straight over to fucking Amorim, and do that. Oh my God. Tomorrow's going to be huge. Tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Illes Carpi, I promise. I will do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. What do we think the score is going to be tomorrow, chat, before we close off? Do we think Manchester United have the opportunity to absolutely pummel them? Yes, I am. MUFC debate. I will be putting that up. Don't you worry. I think we beat them comfortably tomorrow. I mean, Amorim's already gone in there and found his players that he wants to kick out of there. Tamori's one of them. That surprises me. I really like Tamori. And Cuckoo's one of them. Who's the other one? There's another one he's trying to get rid of. I think AC Milan are going to learn pretty quick and pretty fast that Manchester United are light years ahead of where they are. United are in the right situation here. If we go and lose tomorrow, I'll be heartbroken. Rashi, Mainu, and Sesko to score. Sesko, I don't think Sesko's playing tomorrow, mate. I think they're keeping him out of it until the first game of the season. Scotty says 8-0. 3-1 says MUFC debate. The wise man, Carlos, I acknowledge you, says 4-0. So am I want to collab? Maybe another time, mate. I've got Kev hopefully returning tomorrow. So, but hit me up on Twitter, mate, on X. It's the same Dan United. We can definitely catch up. 6-0 United shared between Manu and Rashford, says Hamcham. 4-1 says Danny Boy. 3-0 says it looks Carpy. We should whip. Oh, yeah, we absolutely should. Mark says 3-0 United and I'd sign Leao. There's no room for him. There's no room for Leao. MUFC debate. I might be doing some panels soon, so send me a message and we'll see what we can do. If Xerxes scores, then maybe Amorim will buy him. That would be the dream. That would be the fucking dream. And guys, we've got it. 72% of you are saying that the midfield is currently set 69 now. Hey, that's what she said. Is stronger than last year's. It's the last night of it being absolutely boiling hot. Does Louis Page make us stronger? At the moment, I'm going to say not a chance. Can he do in the future? Maybe. Johnny, quickly, good to see you, mate. He says, run me a 3-0 United and a Lewis Hall bomber. It's going to be a big week. get the friendly out of the way, and then all eyes are going to be on transfers and that first game of the season against Hull. Enjoy your Friday night, you beautiful buggers. It is roasting. I'm going to take the fan down to Mrs. Robinson, who I think is going to hit me over the head for keeping it up here to myself. You are all absolute legends. This channel is nothing without all of you. To all the new subscribers, welcome to the Bryan Brigade. This is what we do. We have fun. We get our bloody beautiful opinions out there. We talk them out, and sometimes we'll ban Tash if she comes and says some nonsensical things. But enjoy your evening. I will catch up with you soon. Danny boy, I'll drop you a message. I got your number, and I'll catch up with you soon. Enjoy yourselves. Happy Friday. Remember, pain is temporary. Class is permanent. Dan United. Man United, mate.